This is Kenny Clark, and this is Lombardi's Bar.
This is one of my favorite podcasts to do.
I'm just, blessed and thankful to be a part of this podcast. It's a great podcast. It's a great interview.
Maybe I know that you guys obviously being the best Packers podcast that's out there.
I had Malort this weekend, so I'm not tasting anything.
Oh, good.
He did.
God.
He did. That was fantastic.
Because it said, "Did you ever try Malort?" And I said no. And then it said, "Do you want to take a shot of Malort?" I said no, but I did.
Wait, who said
It's called peer pressure.
Yeah. I tried to get in a high honors English class once, and they called my parents and were like, "Hey, just tell him he can't do it."
It shows. It really shows.
I hate you guys so much.
I'm going to throw these two guys into the screen so that if I die, they can carry on the legacy of crap that is this show. Hello, Green Bay Packer fans. How are we feeling today? If you watch Sunday's game, you should be feeling pretty goddamn good about yourself. Welcome into Lombardi's Bar, everybody. I'm your bartender, Dan Connick. Thank you so much, as always, for joining us today. If you would take a second, if you have not done so already, go over to the YouTube channel, like and subscribe the page so you get notified every time that we go live here at Lombardi's Bar and on the rest of our Game On Wisconsin network shows. Shout out here in the chat really quick. Emma, thanks for stopping by. Iowa Joe, I also agree. We should probably spend the majority of the time, especially since Todd is not here, talking solely about the bombshell episode of Ahsoka that dropped last night. There's literally nothing else going on right now that I feel like would trump what happened in Ahsoka last night. Todd's joining us here today. Wowie zowie, Todd. Thanks for stopping by, buddy. Let's bring in this guy here. It's Jimmy Christensen. Jimmy,
what's up,
how
dude?
you doing, bud?
I'm good. Packers football's back. We're 1-0. Have a victory week, so I'm pumped. Finally, a week one where we don't have to have bullshit conversation like last year of, did they purposely not do their best? Did they purposely not put stuff on film? Just trying to fill the fucking time. So I'm pumped, man. Finally a week one that's worth talking about.
Like we were having tons of conversations about this because there was a lot of talk at the Connick compound about Juju from the past couple of years because obviously, things have not traditionally started off on the right foot for the Green Bay Packers. And we were trying to think back on it. And the only week one that I remember from the Matt LaFleur era that turned out positive was that Vikings game in 2020, the COVID year. Thanks, COVID. And then I was also thinking about it. Matt LaFleur has never gotten to open up at home ever. And now even this year, we're waiting until week 3 to make it back. I feel like
going to Soldier Field, though, is probably as close to home field advantage we'll get if it's not actually Lambeau. Another place that we technically own, it makes sense. But it was nice to actually see the team go. The game started literally as perfectly as you could hope for. We get a fourth down stop on the Bears opening drive. We immediately go down and score. Love gets his first touchdown pass. Those first two defensive and offensive series were just perfection. So, I obviously there's things to clean up. It's week one with a brand new team, super young, but there were so many positives that I know we're going to talk about as we get going. But like I said, finally a week one to be chipper about instead of all pissy pants.
Yeah, and Umar is going to join us here in a little bit, so I'll get his thoughts on this too. But what's weird is what it felt like watching this team, because this is the first time we're getting to see this offense and this team play a full game against a real opponent. This is the first time we're getting to see them in their full form. You know what this offense felt like? It bear with me, everybody. This is how I feel when I watch, or when I watch. Umar, what's up, man?
Umar.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Sorry, I was running a few minutes late there. I was trying to look new setup here. So I got a little ring light that I won at work, and I don't know if it looks any better or not. And
you look beautiful. Don't question it.
I mean, I'm competing with you, Jimmy. I don't know, man. You damn man.
Hey,
Y'all be...
just get some Dahmer glasses. We can be twins.
Oh man, you will be here until we finish the breakdown. All right, you'll be here until we finish the breakdown. So, it's the only scene I've seen in Dahmer. I like that. I watched the Netflix like the first episode, and I was like, man, I'm not doing this right now. This seems like it's gonna be crazy. So
when I left the Tennessee Titan game last year, I was walking to my car, and these two drunk Titan fan were yelling, "I didn't know Dahmer was a Packer fan." I was like, I can't even say anything. I was like, I don't even know you guys. You're giving me shit for it. I was like, you guys beat me, so I can't. You win, but
that's terrible, man. I'm sorry. Like, I mean, that's actually. I think it's actually true. And on top of that, too, that game was so bad.
It's terrible.
After we just came off of that high, right? Like, that was.
And on a Thursday night, no less.
No, yes, everyone's watching, and you're gonna have to hear shit about it for like
everyone's watching.
Yes,
you're
for 10 days.
To have work the next day. Yeah, you got to sit with it for 10 days.
We had to do that in front of Ryan Fitzpatrick too, which I think super messed up. Fitzmagic did not deserve that.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. But you know what? Sometimes you gotta take what you get. You know what I mean?
Amr, how are you feeling about Sunday? After Sunday, what's the mood? How are you feeling?
Oh, you have no idea. I was in Pittsburgh, and I was literally riding a cloud, like a cloud 9 high. I still am, man. It's terrible. Like I was just at the beginning. I'm like, okay, you know what? You're going kind of a little slow. This is what I expected. And next thing you know, they just took it over. And our defense played extremely well. I'm loving it, but I'm also realizing I'm gonna have to eat some crow when it comes to Joe Barry, and I'm not really looking forward to that. But no, man, I was absolutely excited. I mean, I think I must have put out like literally like 4 or 5 different videos because I was slightly inebriated as I was watching the game. I was with all my boys from Pittsburgh. My family came in from California, and they're all diehard Steelers or Niners fans. So we went to Pittsburgh for a boys trip. Their game, most of them are Pittsburgh fans, so they weren't really happy. The Niners fans were just talking trash the whole day. And I was the honorary Pittsburgh fan because I hate the Niners, and so they were all there in support of me. And I'm surprised no one recorded me with just acting a straight fool in a very like quiet, chill bar in Pittsburgh. There was a Bears fan there who was mad cool, and I was like, he was really nice, and I couldn't I wanted to get at him, but I was like, nah, I gotta say it for the trolls on Twitter. But yeah, I was loving it. I mean, I know you guys are probably like on cloud 9 too, because that was an awesome way to start the season.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I was like I was saying, I was down at my aunt's house in Toledo, so it's about like an hour and a half drive back home. And I already told Kelsey that she was driving back because I was enjoying a case of spotted cow that my dad had brought back. But I was like, even if I had been stone cold sober, she was driving back because I spent the entire way back just flaming Twitter with memes and finding receipts. And I'm like, I texted Frank, my Chicago buddy. He's been on the show before. I'm like, buddy, if you need to mute me or block me for this week, I will not hold it against you, but I am going scorched earth. There is nothing stopping me from enjoying this right now.
Dude, that's the things you knew after this game. Just Twitter was going to be hell, no matter what. Like win or lose, Twitter was going to be hell. Thankfully, we were the ones giving hell after that.
Yeah,
it was a goddamn killing field. It was a meat grinder out there.
Monty was like a must follow for that because he was pulling shit from like April. I was like, God damn, man, you really are going back for these.
We talked about it. I'm happy you said that. You took the words right out of my mouth. I was like, I know Monty. I was like thinking like Monty went off, right? And me and him had like bookmarked so much shit, and we're like, I'm like, we both kept saying, hey man, if Jordan's good and he's a Hall of Famer, I'm going to be insufferable. And we kept our word. I'm sorry, it is what it is. Like, you know what? Like that's the amount of garbage and shit that these Bears fans are doing all year. Even like the ones that are pretty cool, they were even trying to drink the Kool-Aid. And I'm like, get out of here, man. And to show that, like we literally beat them literally the same way we beat them like every year. It wasn't even like it wasn't even that close, honestly, because that garbage touchdown was just BS. And I was just like, come on, man. Like, no way. Like,
Yeah. And see the Bears in such disarray now too, of like reporting of like just the energy around the team. One player saying like, yeah, we weren't who we thought we were. It's like, oh wow.
You're saying that about yourself? Oh my gosh.
I was like, that's what we're supposed to say, not you guys.
And then Brisker coming out talking. They'll get theirs.
Yeah.
So what you're
17
saying is
Not by
weeks
you.
now when we
Not
rest
by
you.
y'all.
you're not good enough to beat us. So
Seriously.
you'll just wait for a better team to possibly beat us later and
Yeah.
stick up for you, while you're over there with your mouth bloody from getting your teeth kicked in for 4 quarters. Got it.
Look,
Got it.
they have a chance of going like 0-2, 0-3 because they're playing Tampa this week. And I'm all my fantasy leagues. I picked up Tampa defense. I was like, they're gonna eat. They're gonna eat, man. And
Yeah.
I just can't wait to see that team and that fan base implode. And normally I'm not like that. I'm like whatever. But they deserve it. They talk so much trash. Now they got to eat it. That's it.
It's if you have not watched it yet, JT O'Sullivan over at the QB school does a great job. I love watching his stuff. And the highlight reel that he put together of watching that Bears offense, where it was just like, what the fuck is this? I don't know what this is. He's like, I've been watching offenses for decades. I've never seen this before. This is not. And Cole Kmet got flamed. And then you
58
watch
million.
it, and I'm like, holy shit. Yeah, like you don't notice it watching it, but yeah, Cole Kmet is out there doing nothing. Fucking nothing.
Even
I
Chase
heard he was-
Claypool, second
Yeah.
rounder, dude, just whiffing
Dude,
on
what was
blocks, like
that?
jogging on the field. And part of me feels bad. I gotta change that. Part of me wishes Luke Getsy was on a different team just because he
Yes.
came from the Packers organization and he was like a good, what was he, tight ends coach for the Packers? Like, I
He
feel
worked
bad.
his way up. You worked his way up. But yeah, you're
And so I was
right.
like, I wished him success, but at the same time, it's like, well, my guy, you went to the Bears. So like you can't expect us suddenly to be in good spotlight there. But it sucks that it has to be him. But yeah, that offense does not look good.
Does it put a damper on what you guys saw Sunday when you go back and look and see just how disorganized that offense was? Does it take away anything that we saw?
I was thinking that too. Oh, go ahead, Jimmy. Go ahead.
Oh no, all you man, you'll give a much smarter answer than me. So you
I don't know
jump
about
in.
all that. It's funny too. I keep saying that Luke Getsy was our Trojan horse, and he's just in there from fucking it up on the inside. So I'm all about that, right? But no, the truth is like, you want to be like, man, this offense was garbage. Our defense looked really great. I mean, the truth is these are all NFL football players, right? They've been preparing for this game all off season. They've been preparing this game probably since last year. And yeah, they just didn't look good. Was that all because of coaching? Probably, but also was it because of us? Maybe, right? I mean, we weren't mistake free and we still kind of able to persevere through it. So yeah, I mean, it's like being up on your little brother, right? You know you're gonna always win. But on the same hand too, though, it's one of those things where I'm gonna take it for what it is. And like we've never done well in openers. And there were things that happened in that game that I feel like when we've had, our previous quarterback and things like that, that it just wouldn't have executed as well as it did, and I feel bad for what happened to him. Don't get me wrong, but like, I just feel like seeing Jordan out there and just no matter what happened, you just never see him frustrated. And there was times where I could tell he wanted to be pissed. Like you could tell he's like, I cannot believe Luke Musgrave ran horizontally instead of just vertically up the sideline to catch that ball. But he just bit his tongue, turned around, and just kept going. Like I don't know, I'm just so happy to see a team that just actually just doesn't look like it gets punched in the mouth a little bit and it just crumbles. Like I felt like there were things that the Bears kind of did after that first drive that could have maybe made us feel like let's go either way. Our team didn't falter.
That was one of the nice things. If the Packers had a second half like they did the first half, like I said, the opening 2 drives, defense and offense were perfect. Like I said, that 4th down stop going to a touchdown, fantastic. But coming out in the second half, just to put your foot on the Bears' necks and just destroy them that second half made me feel so much better about the game. Because we saw last year too, like in close games like that, it kind of seemed like that's just how the game's going to go. We never really like brought that momentum. I know we came back against Chicago. It helped Tua was concussed when we played the Dolphins too. So there's like a couple of outliers there, but that's not something we really saw the team turn it on in the second half. Usually I feel like we had in the past, the team do good in the first half and then kind of fizzle out. So it actually kind of, the second half gave me a lot more hope and not put an asterisk against beating the Bears. Because at the end of the day, it's a division rival. Last year we beat them, but we had to come back in one game against the Bears. And last year was arguably a worse team than they are this year. But again, they suck both times. So it's hard to say that too, but I still have, even though it's the Bears, that win definitely gave me a lot of confidence going against the Falcons.
Yeah. And, as bad as the Bears offense was, you're still going up against an NFL defense on the other side of the ball. And, Jordan Love and that offense put up 31 points on offense.
Yep.
That's what you're supposed to do against an NFL defense. Doesn't matter how fucking bad they are.
Mm-hmm.
That's your job. And, Amar, right before you were coming on, I was saying, watching this game and watching that offense, operate at full strength for the first time, it reminded me as an Ohio State fan of watching an Ohio State college offense, like a premier college offense, where I can't tell you how many times as an Ohio State fan I have watched a superior offensive team go up against an inferior team and kind of feel things out in the first half.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the second half, make the adjustment and fucking kill it.
Exactly.
And that's what it felt like. It felt like that first half, they were testing things out, seeing what's working, where are they biting, where are they pulling. And the second half, they just found every single hole. And I have a feeling that this is going to be sort of what we see out of this offense moving forward this year. It's going to feel a lot more like a college offense, where it's, one or two reads, quick bang, 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 see what the defense is giving you and tailor your offense to make those one or two reads to beat them every single time. And I feel like that's what we're going to see a lot of this year. It's going to feel like a college offense versus a pro style offense like we've seen with Aaron Rodgers.
Well, we saw a triple option in the first drive, so
yeah,
I know. I was like,
see some stuff.
I was like, hey, I when I saw that, I was like, okay, Matt's in his bag. He's just playing around. He's just doing some stuff, right? But haven't we noticed for like how many years now? First half, we kind of take slow, then we get it going, then we come on that third quarter, right? And it's like 3 and out, right? Like we just don't we don't bring whatever momentum we had in, we double up. I just feel like we come like little almost as if like it resets and then we just start all over again, get the momentum again. It didn't feel like that on Sunday. Like it felt like we came out and we're like, hey, we're gonna put these guys away. And I mean, honestly, like Justin Fields is Justin Fields. He is an amazing athlete. He's an amazing player. You being an Ohio State fan, it probably kills you to have to see him on the Bears. And I know for me, like I loved him coming out. And I think I said that on Sunday too. And like just watching him make things out of nothing at times was amazing to me. I'm just looking forward to the Bears going 0-8 and then they trade 0-6. They trade him and then he goes to a team like maybe who knows the Jets. And right, like the next thing you know, he lights it up over there. I don't know, but I'm just saying, like I just think that what we saw on Sunday is something that we all kind of were hoping we would see, but until you see it, you don't know it. And man, like it's just funny how much Jordan did, even though like people want to nitpick on this stat or that stat. But at the end of the day, he ran the offense like we always wanted the offense to be run.
Yep.
Since like 2020 and half of 2021, right? And so I just can't. I mean, Atlanta's a whole another monster, but I'm really feeling good right now. And I'm trying not to get my hopes too much because it's the NFL, right? There's a lot of parity, so I'm just trying to like. The game's on TV here too in Northern Virginia, so I'm definitely not. I'm on cloud 9 again, like all the way through. So I'm happy as hell.
You're tempering expectations. I'm in the fuck it, it's Super Bowl mode right now.
Oh no, I'm still saying 13-4. Yeah, so 13-4, bro. That has not changed. I'm just saying, I'm gonna need a couple of losses here and there, but hey, I'm all for us. Now, what was the odds? Like it was like plus 600 to make the playoffs to now negative 135, right? And it's just like, it's funny how that changes like overnight,
Yeah.
So,
real quick.
Real quick.
Before we move on to buy around, pay the tab here, Jay, I think really hit the nail on the head with these points in the chat here about just everything felt methodical. The offense just felt methodical. There was no panic. Anytime that the offense, kind of stumbled or, ended on a third, you're punting, it didn't feel like things were being forced. It just felt like it didn't connect. The pass didn't connect for some reason, but it just felt like it was all in rhythm, All right, let's jump into just something to buy around. Jimmy, why don't you kick us off with a buy around?
Yeah, a guy that I made pay the tab a lot last year. I'm going with Darnell Savage. Came in and actually played pretty well. Like you saw him make tackles. Jacob Morley put on Twitter last year, all of 2022, he had 3 stops that gave the offense a failure grade according to PFF, and he had 3 just on Sunday. So in one game, he matched his whole 2022 stats. He was actually making tackles. Like those are things you'd usually see him just like turn his head away and whiff on, but he was making tackles. He was
using his shoulder,
using his shoulders,
yep.
not just arm tackles all the time. So Darnell, I'll give you your flowers when you deserve them. So I'm definitely going to buy him around, because if he turns into a player that we even seen in the past, last year, horrendous, but his rookie year, there's a reason he was a first round pick. The man is an athletic freak. And if he can start making plays, then that safety room that was a giant question mark and has a solid safety, it changes everything. Because Rudy Ford, he can hit. He's going to make mistakes. This is going to be his first, as long as he stays healthy, his first full starting season. So if we can have an anchor in Darnell Savage, that's going to be huge for that secondary.
Yeah, it literally looked like I was watching a different Darnell Savage on Sunday.
Mike Pettin, Darnell Savage, right? Like that last year of Mike Pettin, where he was just all over the field. Like he was just a guy with his head on fire and just killing it. And I have to admit, like seeing him come down, rush the lanes, make tackles, not make mistakes, I was impressed. I gotta admit, I was like, he's trying to earn that contract. I don't blame him. I was like, if you go do it, I'll take all day right now.
Yep.
So he looked amazing.
Those contract years, they change you.
Hell yeah.
Well, I'm going to buy around for our rookie pass rushers. I mean, the entire pass rush for this Packers team was on a whole another level on Sunday. Outside, real quick before I get to these two guys, the one that stuck out to me the most was, I think it was Wyatt on that play. Was it a play action or an option read or something where they show where he's reading Justin Fields the entire time, and they showed that from the sideline, and you see Wyatt's eyes, and he is just fixated on Jordan or on Justin, and he's just like, motherfucker. And once he sees him keep the ball, it's like you can see it like change. He's like, I got it. Like, this is mine. I mean, so again, the whole pass rush, the defensive line looked outstanding, but have to give a huge shout out to, I know he's not a rookie Iowa Joe, but Lucas Van Ness, and of course, my boy, Carl Brooks from Green State University. 2 amazing plays. And these were not sacks that were like, like some of those ones where, the quarterback steps up into the pocket and they just kind of fall into your lap and you get a recorded sack. No. Van Ness, that's such an amazingly athletic play, because Jair couldn't take him down. A seasoned all-pro veteran couldn't take him down on a clean, wide-open sack. Van Ness came on the end, held his position, and was able to out-athleticism a guy like Justin Fields.
Is that a thing?
It is now.
I think it is now.
I'm into it.
It's a PFF stat.
It's a PFF stat. Okay.
But then, and Carl Brooks, just an example of his sack was an example of what we're going to see out of this defensive line, is guys fighting through stunts and causing that chaos. That was a product of it, and he just picked up exactly where he left off in the preseason. So huge ups to both of those rookies for coming out there. And I think the Packers put out, it was like the first time that the Packers had two rookies get a sack in one game since like 1982 or something like that. So
Colby Wooden Colby almost got one too, I think. Right?
Yeah.
It was that someone put in the chat way earlier in the show, but this has to be, as of right now, we said even before the season, this has to be one of the most talented defensive lines in a while, just
Yeah.
top to bottom. They're so like, if Enambare is your 5th best pass rusher, you have a pretty good edge group. And then you're talking Carl Brooks, Wooden making differences. TJ Slayton, like for someone that has made a huge jump in the preseason, to have TJ Slayton be someone that you're not really talking about and didn't really focus on because all these other guys are making splash plays is actually what you want. Not that TJ played bad, but he should be your 2nd, 3rd best defensive lineman going into this game. And you are talking about everybody else now because everyone kind of rose up to that. So this defensive line is going to be a problem this year.
It's funny you say it too, because I was kind of wondering, like, sometimes, like, TJ being a big guy, he's like 330, 335. So I kind of wonder if he plays that, like, I'm going to take as many of these guys as I can so everybody else can make plays, right? And I think, like, I don't know, just watching him out there, I've kind of always been kind of high on him coming out, and I've always wanted to see him just get a full slate of snaps. And we finally see that where, KC doesn't have, Kenny Clark doesn't have to be in the middle anymore. He can play on the outside end, stuff like that. But seeing Lucas make that, like, run that play down the side, down, run Justin Fields down and take the right angle and just bring him down, that was absolutely amazing. I'm not going to lie. Like, I saw that, I was like, holy shit, like, that never happens. Like, that's insane. So, no, I have to admit, like, that, Luke, the rookie pass rushers, Goody was doing something else. He was in his freaking bag on draft day, and Rebrovich and freaking stupid ass Joe Barry are cooking over here. And it's like I got the chef and the sous chef, and I'm over here. I got to eat this crow, and I'm like, all right, let's see you do it again. Let's see you do it again. And I'm just want to see if you can do that to Pat Mahomes in a few weeks here. All right, you got me, dog. I'm good. Like the 7-course meal of crow. Let's go.
Umber, did you have a buy round you want to throw out here?
Yeah, of course. I like it. I mean, the one person I think that we should always buy around for is going to be Jair Alexander. I think that him shadowing DJ Moore, the guy that was supposed to be the kryptonite to our Superman and Ja, who has eaten up the Packers' deep secondary every time he's played him, even though, really didn't score any touchdowns, he's got a shit ton of yards. You saw him get real quiet and get frustrated as hell with Jair, just like we saw with Justin Jefferson. So I think watching him out there and literally shut down their number one receiver who's been hyped up all offseason, and with respect, he's a damn good receiver. Just didn't look like it on Sunday, and I don't know. I just think that when you got a shutdown corner like that playing the way he is, it just really makes it easier as a defense to not really have to worry about that main player that you got, that's out there, right? He's taking on your main playmaker. What are you going to do? You're going to go Darnell Mooney? That's what they did. But by then it was too late. We didn't even care at that point.
Yeah. And for Jair's comments after the game too, when they asked him about him, he was kind of like, did you guys think something else was going to happen? Like, he just is a quote machine after he shuts players down. I absolutely love it. Like, I think that's what I love most about it. Seems like more people on this team are getting that Jair mentality of just, they're young, but they are just irrationally confident, which is fantastic. Like, you have to be irrationally confident playing in the NFL. It's just like, you have to be. You have to think you're the best or someone's going to beat you. And I think people are starting to pick that up.
That Razul quote after the game in the
another
tunnel,
30 years.
30 more years.
Another years. And then and we talked about Gutekunst. Brian Gutekunst coming down and congratulating every single one of those players like they had just won a trip to the Super Bowl.
Yep.
Because I think it felt like he feels what this is. He's like, everything that just happened right here. This is the image of this team that I wanted to have, and we're seeing it happen. And he is excited about it. I'm fucking excited about it.
I mean, think about it. Jordan Love looked okay, and we won. Goody would get shit, right? For Jordan Love to look the way that he did, and the team to look the way they did, because Goody's made some moves that have come into question. For us to still win this game and the way we won it, where it wasn't just like, oh, it was a close game or we barely won, or like, I still remember that day when we beat the Niners in the last few seconds in 2018 when McCarthy was there, right?
Monday Night Football.
Monday Night Football. And I remember Mike Clemens was quoted on one of the radio shows. He was kind of like, everyone was cheering, having a great old time. The one person that wasn't really cheering? Gutekunst. because he was like, "Why?" We were playing against like a third string quarterback. He goes, "Why take us all the way to the very end to beat this team?" And for him to have that kind of reaction with the win that was so close, and to see here where we got a blowout, first game of the season, this is the team that he's really basically created, and to see that the fruitation, the fruits of his labor, man, he deserves his flowers. He really does. I have to admit, I have to admit when I saw him and Jordan hugging, I know his ass is like, "Thank you." Thank you.
Oh yeah, because like you said, it's Goody legacy now. Matt LaFleur and Goody, like this is their time to build a legacy. Rodgers isn't there anymore. It's their show to kind of go make their name in the Packer history book. So far so good. Like you said, he was in his bag this draft. So far he's fucking killed it. And I know he's made questionable moves. Every good GM is, but hey, fuck it, we're 1-0. So
let's do it.
I'm cool.
Let's go.
What's the best part about going 1-0?
Talk mad shit.
Chance to go 2-0.
2-0. Oh snap! There it is.
Beer swig. All right, let's jump to pay the tab. I'll kick it off because I think it kind of leads in from what we were just talking about with Brian Gutekunst. But how about Pat McAfee pays the tab? Because I enjoyed his receipts getting pulled during the bloodbath on social media on Sunday and Monday about the quotes when it came around to the Packers or the Rodgers trade, and him calling Brian Gutekunst basically an idiot, a moron for making the moves. And again, not saying that it is good or positive or anything. It just is what it is. With the Rodgers injury like that, that is a direct result of not having enough protection for your franchise quarterback. What is something that Brian Gutekunst has done? What is something that this organization has always prioritized? Offensive line, keeping your quarterback healthy. And so when Pat talks about that, calling Brian Gutekunst an idiot for not getting him weapons or helping him out, when other people on social media, Packers Twitter, I think you know who I'm talking about, are ragging on Brian Gutekunst for not going out and getting splashy wide receiver help, or why didn't we make this trade? Why are we not all in helping Rodgers get every single help? Why are we not drafting every
T.
single
Higgins?
T. Higgins. This is why. Right there. That's why. Because we trotted out Zach fucking Tom as our right tackle. And meanwhile,
Mr. Undersized, right? Yep.
And meanwhile, Aaron Rodgers is running for his life all preseason, and it came back to bite them very early on in a very unfortunate, worst possible case scenario on Monday. So right there, that's why Brian Gutekunst has this job and why Pat McAfee does his thing.
Yeah. Jimmy, I got let me go next because I got one that has to pay the tab like a motherfucker. Adam Shaheen or Shine or what the fuck his name is. I don't even know. For all the vitriol and all the garbage that came out of his mouth just because he's not even like a spokesperson for Rodgers. I don't even think Rodgers would agree with the things that he said about Jordan. For him to say all that shit and then for Jordan to come out and throw 3 touchdowns, lead the league in the passer rating, do all the things that people said, him in particular said that he couldn't even do, that dude gonna pay. He gonna pay multiple tabs. He gonna pay the tab every fucking week until I am dead and gone. Seriously, that the way he came out and tried to just act like he just was this. I don't know what you want to call it. It was almost like he was. It
felt personal.
It really did. It really did. Like I've seen. Oh, I know Big B. There was something that Big B posted, him and Cheesehead TV posted, where I was dying laughing.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah. I'm waiting for him to block me because I've been literally just pot shying him every chance I get because I'm just like, come on, Doc. Like, there's some of the, and then when like the whole team was defending him and making fun of him, calling him like a Steve Harvey suit wearing, sorry Joker and all this and that, I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, see, I don't know. For me, seeing your teammates come into your defense, you're a young quarterback, I'm not saying that they didn't do that with Rodgers, but you know what I'm saying? Like this all feels different. And no, so I just think that all Bears Twitter too, but no, Adam Shine, he definitely pays the tab and he is eating crow. And it's funny too, because on Pat McAfee show when Darius Butler was like, yeah, think they got think they got another Hall of Famer. I'm not saying he's a Hall of Famer, but he might have done 30 years. Pat's like, yeah, I did say that Gutekunst didn't know what he was doing. Maybe I'm probably wrong. And I know Pat was like killing himself saying that. Like, just like, are you kidding me right now? Like, I gotta admit this shit. Yeah, that's what happened when you go out to bat for Rodgers when he's kind of speaking out the side of his neck. So he's just not happy about things are, And look, he got all his weapons in a chest. Now he can't even use them. So what the fuck? Like, I'm sorry. No, I shouldn't say that. I feel bad for Rodgers. I mean, I do really feel bad for him.
I feel like I mentioned last night or on Monday. Feel terrible for Aaron Rodgers.
Yep.
That's a gut-wrenching thing to happen in a way that could possibly be the last time we ever see him on a field.
Right.
I don't feel an ounce sorry for a single Jets fan that was
Exactly.
Just talking shit
since the end of the season to the start of the draft. You'll be lucky if you get a third-round pick.
Oh my
Fuck all of
dude.
You deserve all bad. And, I mean, whatever. They fucking won the game, so how bad was it? But still.
Yeah.
I mean, that's true now. That's true. That's what, because, you got Josh Allen out there making like a Brett Favre impersonation from like the divisional against the Rams in like 2001. Like, what the fuck was that? I'm just throw it up. Stephon Diggs is down there somewhere. I'm like, bro, Stephon's not that big, dog. He's not Calvin Johnson. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, oh my gosh. So yeah. That's my favorite fan. I had to say that. Yeah.
No,
that's Jimmy, if I took it from you.
No, you're good. You're good. I'm gonna just say a person's name so Todd doesn't fire us. Josh Myers, pay the tab. But the one that I actually want to go to, he was bad this game. Zach Tom be center at some point. But
I really hope so.
The same old halftime speech from Matt LaFleur, or his interview. Yeah, I really gotta get Aaron Jones the ball. I don't know how he had so little touches. And then immediately the second half is sparked by Aaron Jones just killing it. And granted, Matt LaFleur, that play action bootleg, and it turned out to be a screen on the other side of the field. One of my favorite plays I've seen in a long time.
That was beautiful, man.
Incredible. Yeah. And then Jonesy takes a 4th and 3. Dan's favorite Madden play, the HB angle, and takes that for like a touchdown. Sorry about your hamstring. But we finally give him the ball and just magic happens. And so it's just so frustrating. And I think Nagler put it on Twitter today of just like, he's going to stop asking for Jones. He's given up on that. It's just not going to happen. It's what they do. But it still frustrates me to all get up. Just Jones is right there. You see what happens when he gives when you give him the ball. You did it the first drive, touchdown. You did it immediately after the second half. We fucking kill him. But whatever. Dude, I'm not the coach.
He looked so fast on the sideline. I was like, holy shit, this is
the second fastest clock time in week 1, just behind Tyreek Hill.
Dude, oh my God, when he took off, I was like, damn, Jerry, I didn't know you had like that. I was like, wow. And it's funny, like, I don't know, I couldn't agree with you more. Like, just the Myers thing was, I completely agree. We start off with that because the fact that he's even play center still drives me fucking insane. It's not even about the Creed Humphrey thing. Like, honestly, I'm okay with just putting anyone there at this point. Like, when I got tagged to be like the fake center, I was like, you know what? I can give it a shot. I really could try. I might die, but I could try.
Yeah.
But
can't do much worse.
No, I mean, at this point, man, I'm just telling you, like, and that's the thing. You can see a difference between like Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon, right? But some of it was on AJ, and some of it was on some of the missed assignments, mental errors.
Well, let's talk about that for a second, because Andy brought it up on Pack-A-Day today, and it was really obvious in this game. Like you said, Omar, there was a couple of times where it was execution on the offensive line. But, boy, the gap between Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon just seemed huge. And I even said, maybe this is why they were kicking the tires on Jonathan Taylor. It was because, like Andy said, like, when you have a running back, there should be one thing that he can, like, that's his go-to.
Yeah.
A.J. doesn't really have a go-to. He's just a big bruiser, and you're not going to explode. You're not going to have explosive plays like that as a running back if you don't have any other skill set than just run through a motherfucker's face.
Yep. He doesn't even do that.
He's not a Marshawn Lynch. He's kind of he bowls into guys. It feels like he's running to just hurt them as they're tackling him rather than running through them to continue the play.
I
You know
think
what I
too,
mean?
like defenses are going to start queuing in. What they already have. Like I feel like Dylan, his first year on the Packers, like after Jamal left when he was getting more playing time, did a little bit more in the passing game than he has been lately. Like his pass, I don't know if it was his only one, but he dropped like an easy pass to Jordan Love
on the flat. Yeah, I know you're talking about. Yeah,
and so like teams are going to start queuing in. Like
Mm-hmm.
AJ Dillon's in the game. Don't fucking worry about the passing game with him. Just like let's just crash the line. And like it's gonna be harder and harder for this offensive line to make these angle cuts and do their zone blocking when the defense knows it's AJ Dillon in the game. You don't have to worry about a passing threat. So if they start queuing it on him like that, like it's just gonna get worse and worse for him.
What I don't get to, like with AJ, is like when you look at the way he runs, because like I think Johnny just said it too, where like his Tennessee game was absolutely amazing, right? Yeah. But like he runs like he's been hurt and he's recovering from something.
Yes. Yep.
Right? Like,
he looked like Breece Hall running on Monday.
Yeah.
Like you could tell he's in recovery or something. Yeah.
I know. Look at Breece Hall though. Breece Hall freaking still took off like a maniac, right? Like, you know, like I mean, I'm sorry, like he just looks like something's like, I don't know, something's holding him back. And I know, like a guy that runs as big as he is, who runs as fast as he does. I just feel like not that he's scared, because there ain't no reason why he should be scared, right? But I don't know, it just feels like something's missing there, and he's clicked it on a couple of times. The majority of the time, you just see him just do what we saw, and it's like, man, like you should be imposing fear in these guys. Yeah, I was like, I'm not seeing that with Aaron Jones. I mean, it's just like lightning in a bottle, man, and you don't know where he's gonna go, and he somehow just takes he may get hit in the behind the line of scrimmage, and he still gets 6 yards somehow every time. That's what I'm saying. We may see Patrick Taylor look good. Taylor looked good, even though it's cleanup time, and maybe we need to see Wilson. I don't know. I just and it's funny you say that too about the Jonathan Taylor thing, because I'm not gonna lie. The second they said the Bears in on it, I was like, fuck yeah, destroy your cap. I don't give a shit. Give away your picks. You guys are fucking stupid. Then I saw our name, like, oh, fuck my life. I just really jinxed myself. Like, why did I do that? I was like, oh, crap. Now I got to spin it. I was like, I can't. I really can't. This is not good for us. This is going to be a terrible idea. Now I'm like, Aaron Jones, Jonathan Taylor. Whew, I don't know. That might be nice. It might be okay.
Now, you should have kept Jamal.
Thank you. That's why I cringed, because you know what? Like, even in that Tampa Bay NFC Championship game, when they gave the ball to Jamal, he was getting positive yards. Like, he was looking good. He's always looked good. My man's had maybe like 1 fumble his whole career, maybe 2 his whole career. Like, he's just a consistently amazing football player. Like, he's the grinder that you thought Dylan was going to be.
Yep.
Right? But he's
100%.
not. And I have to admit, like, just seeing him not get re-signed by Detroit after he scored 75 touchdowns in one season was kind of weird. And then going to the Saints, and I'm just like, man, like Green Bay should have made right on their wrong and brought him in. I don't know what. I mean, you know what? And it wasn't like he got paid a lot of money. Like $2 million? I'd have. I mean, I'm okay with the guys we have, obviously, but you know, man, Jamal was he's a character in a good way, right? He's such a positive dude, man. I love that dude's heart, man. I'm with you 100% on that.
I can say the one thing that if I'm trying to find a silver lining or let's wait and see, is if we're saying that this is the image of what Brian Gutekunst wants this offense to look like for the first time. What did we always say about AJ Dillon was the reason you brought AJ Dillon in for November, December, January?
That's true.
Games when you're playing at Lambeau and you need somebody to go out there when it's 20 degrees and just pound.
Yep.
Maybe when we get later into the season, we see a change and we see the AJ Dillon that they've wanted to have in this offense come to full fruition. Maybe, but like we were kind of saying was, you know, if it was a choice between going into a let's say a theoretical playoff scenario with AJ Dillon or Jonathan Taylor, it's hard not to. It doesn't matter how cold it is. I think it might still be Jonathan Taylor.
It's funny you say it too, because I thought about what you were saying there, and like in that divisional game against the Niners in 2021, right? He got hurt on a fucking kickoff return, which I don't know why the hell he was out there, but he got hurt on this kick return. And I think being in negative degree weather, he would have been perfect for that game. But what happens? He gets hurt. Now we have to play Prachatero, who didn't really look good that game. Aaron Jones, unfortunately, had some faux pas here and there, right? But like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're 100% right.
Matt even said it. Was that the offense the offensive mindset completely changed when AJ Dillon left that game?
No, yes, right? Like, it was just like, okay, now we don't have our bruiser, so we're gonna have to. And it was like, we're not trying to give the ball too many carries or touches to Aaron Jones. I'm thinking like, all right, like, this man's been a workhorse his whole life. Now you don't want him to use him. Let's not go, beat that dead horse anymore. But no, you're right. I think like we're all kind of like, we're all kind of bitching about the way AJ Dillon's. Me too, of course. We'll see if he's still. Hopefully, he's still on the team, and if he is, November, December, January, when we hopefully have something to play for, which I think we will. Maybe that's where we're going to see, the mayor of Door County really come through and show us, why he's really here, and he'll probably shut us all up. And hey, man, I might be having literally 17 feasts of crow if this keeps going the way it's going.
Yeah, Todd's right. We only discuss 2-year-old games.
Sorry, my bad. That's my fault. Yeah, just missed the cutoff. So actually, no, it's still within the period, kind of.
Jeez. All right, let's look ahead here a little bit to this Falcons game. Boy, that is a rough place to play. I don't care. Kind of, they're kind of like New Orleans, man. Is when you go play there, it doesn't matter if they're the worst team in the league. That's a tough place to play on the road. For me personally, the thing that worries me the most is Bijan Robinson.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Just because we really didn't see a lot of him. Like he didn't really have a huge game on Sunday.
That the touchdown he had though was beautiful.
That was sick, man.
The flashes of it.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, this is the first chance here now. This Packers defense, you came out, you talked about how different this run game was, and you showed it against a lackluster Bears offense. Now you've got a running back that is being heralded as the new face.
Mm-hmm.
One of the new faces of the NFL.
Yeah.
How do you respond on the road to him?
And not even just him. Like Algiers also.
Algiers good, man.
They might have by the end of the season, they could have the best running back duo in the NFL. So we were going to be thankfully the interior of their offensive line also kind of sucks. So this could be a really big game for the Bears, like the Packers did against the Bears offensive line. It's like we have that, but again, it's going to come down to can we make the tackles that we missed against the Bears? Can we be consistent in the run game? So hopefully we can, but yeah, this is going to be the first, this is the first real test of the season, and we're facing two incredible running backs. So we're going to see if Joe Barry's actually cooking or if last week was just an anomaly.
It's funny you say that too, because I was thinking when we looked at the Bears, right, and you looked at Justin Fields, okay, he's a very dynamic player. He can throw the ball. We just haven't seen him do it very much, but he's amazing with the ball in his hands, right? Desmond Ridder does not scare me one bit. I am not worried about him throwing the ball. I might be a little bit worried about him running the ball, but he's still no Justin Fields. And that offense, like you said, the offensive line, their rookie was the only one that actually looked like he knew what he was doing. The rest of them looked lost as hell. And Carolina's defense is decent. They're coached very well by one of my favorite coaches ever, Mr. Evero, that we should have had, whole nother subject. But it's like you did see that offensive line get exposed. And if it wasn't for Bijan, it wasn't for Tyler, and it wasn't for their defense making Carolina really, make a lot of mistakes, they may have lost that game. And I think that place has been a bugaboo for us. And, ever since our Super Bowl run, we haven't really fared well there, but it's a new team. It's a new era. And it's time to kind of, destroy all those old, superstitions that we used to have to deal with all the time. Right.
Yeah. And like you said with Ridder, I was looking at his stats. He had 4 passes the entire game go beyond 10 yards.
Say
4 passes. That's it. Over 50% of his passes were behind the line of scrimmage with 8 passes. So it's if we can just stop the run and make Desmond Ridder beat us, this game is ours. Desmond Ridder is not good. if you like Kyle Pitts and Drake London might get open at times during this game, I'm okay with that because Desmond Ritter is the one throwing them the ball, and it probably will go to the Packers somehow. So and this is always the thing with the Packers. If we can stop the run, we're good. Our secondary is good, but it's not even that now. It's this opposing quarterback and a bad offensive line should be a recipe for the Packers defense to feast. So hopefully we can get it, but again, it's a wait and see this week, which I'm pumped about. Like I said, it's a real test.
It's funny too. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, you go.
No, I was just gonna say, how when you watch a game sometimes you're like, okay, just stop the run and make them throw. That's it. Stop the run and make them throw. I don't care if it's third and long. You just stop the run no matter what. Like I don't give a damn, right? It's like it seems so simple for us, but I know that when it comes to obviously coaching NFL, it's never that simple. But man, like if this is one time you just do everything you can to make them beat you throwing the ball, I would do it because Drake London, like you said, Pitts, those guys are amazing players, amazing athletes. I just don't have any fear about them getting the ball from Desmond Ritter right now.
Yeah, exactly. We're gonna have to watch those behind the line of scrimmage passes. Like that's their thing right now. Again, like 8 out of his 15 behind the line. Yeah, like
it's that stat.
It's insane. Like I don't know. I don't know how they won last week. Well, I do. They played the Panthers.
They played the Panthers. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
I picked the Panthers to win because I'm a big ass dummy, so don't even get me started on that. Yeah, I was like, oh, that defense is gonna be really good. Evro's there. I was like, Evro, you let me down. No.
Shit.
Real quick, True North Packer fan brings up a good point. Shout out to Tom Grassi for hitting the $500,000 mark.
I saw that.
Grassi Posse, friend of the show.
Good for him.
Good for him. Tom's the man, dude. I mean, for what he did in like 30 stadiums in 30 days and all that stuff. I mean, that's absolutely amazing.
Insane.
And just if anyone deserves to be known in the social media world, it's definitely him. We can all strive to try to be like that one day. So that's pretty cool.
I had my third kid before he went, and I felt bad for him on lack of sleep. I was like, that's how bad it was. Him and Johnny, I was like, God damn. I feel bad for you guys.
Bro, more power to you for having 3 kids. We stopped at 2. That was it. I was like, a third one would have been the end. That would have been the end.
Wanted to stop at 2.
Yeah, it just happened, right? And I was like, okay,
sorry, Mabel, if you ever hear this. But.
You're the mistake. Not really. Love you. So good.
All right, let's jump into a few bar bets here for Sunday's game. And I mean, really, a lot of these fit perfectly in with what we've been talking about here. So the first one, Packers defense, over under 4.5 sacks on Desmond Ritter. They got 4 recorded sacks against Justin Fields. The Carolina Panthers got 4 sacks on Desmond Ritter and this Falcons team. So have I set the line too low for this? 4.5? Are we all going to take the over on this?
I'm doing the under, actually. Only because they're gonna rely on Robinson and Algier so much. Like that's the only reason is even on a 3rd and 5, if you have Desmond Ritter or Robinson, like I would trust Robinson to run that 3rd and 5 more than Ritter to throw. My only thing is they have those 2 backs, and if a lot of those passes are happening behind the line of scrimmage, they're going to be quick passes. I think there's going to be a little adjustment to get the ball out of his hands as quick as they can. So I think we probably get to 4, but the run game is going to be so important for that team. It might just be tough.
Okay, what are you wagering? How many Bakhtiaris?
3 Bakhtiaris.
Okay, 3 Bakhtiaris. All right. Umar, you want to take a stab at it?
Oh yeah, 100%. I'm going over. And I'm hoping that Rashawn Gary is more than just 10 snaps, because if he did, he had like 7 hurries in those 10 snaps, I think it was. Oh no, 12 snaps. And for him to have the rate that he did, yeah. They're probably not going to expose Desmond to throwing the ball a lot, primarily because of the fact that they probably know that he can't do a great job with it. So they're probably going to try to, and knowing Arthur Smith and what he comes from, how he was like a run game maven when he was in Tennessee, even though he had Derrick Henry, right? He loves running the ball. I mean, I think that's where Matt LaFleur learned a lot of. He even said that he would break down a lot of scheme with him in Tennessee. So I definitely do see them doing crazy things about just with the run game. They kind of like, well, I can't mention it, right? Because it was in 2019. But I'm still going to go over, because every time he goes and steps back, 3-step, 5-step, 7-step drop, someone's going to be in his face. And I'm going to go over. And what's the range between the Bakataris?
1 to 5.
Oh, 5. 5. I'm betting the whole house. Let's do it.
It goes against Todd, so that's fine.
Yeah, it's very Todd of you.
Yeah, either for Todd or against Todd.
Nice. Well, I try to be on Todd's side, but I might have to switch up on a little bit.
God help me. I think Jimmy swayed me a little bit.
Oh,
on
you
there.
fucked up. Now I feel like
because here's the thing is I think that Justin Fields exposed himself to more sacks because he knows he can get out a lot more. I'm worried that Desmond Ridder is going to be a little bit more quick on the trigger to get things out. So there might be more bad passes. There might be more chances for interceptions. But something in my gut just says we're going to get a lot of pressure. We're going to be in his face a ton. But is it going to show up in a sack column?
Mm-hmm.
Because he's getting things out. They're getting, they're getting the ball out of his hands. So God help me, but I'll go under, and I'll say 4 Bakhtiaris. I'll say under.
Oh,
yeah,
ballsy.
All right.
Yeah. All right. Second one here. Lee refers back to our AJ Dillon conversation. Who has more rushing yards, AJ Dillon? Or I put Patrick Taylor, but just to leave this open, we'll say insert third running back. So Patrick Taylor, Emmanuel Wilson, whoever they decide to, assuming it's Patrick Taylor. Patrick Taylor outrushed A.J. Dillon on Sunday against the Bears. How do we feel about this one? Umar, we'll kick it off with you.
Oh, man. I think that them playing on turf, I think the way A.J. Dillon, I'm thinking he's going to have a redemption game. As much as I've been kind of like spouting off of the mouth about what's been going on. I know he hears everything. I know he reads everything. And if Aaron Jones is not playing, I really think that he's going to try to make a statement. And Atlanta's defense is good, but is it like, Carolina was able to actually get a lot of rushing on them, right? Miles Sanders actually looked pretty good against them. So I definitely think that I could see A.J. Dillon leading the team in rushing this week. And I'll probably bet maybe I won't go as crazy on this one. I'll do like 2 Bakhtaris on this one.
I'm with you. I'm going AJ Dillon. I think too, we've saw this year, like Goody and LaFleur let the young guys play, especially if AJ or Aaron Jones is out, like they're going to ride with their guy. Let him try to have that bounce back game. Cause even if Aaron Jones plays, like there'll probably be a pitch count just because it's a hammy. We're going to need him later on in the season. So I think they're really, really going to try to give A.J. Dillon any chance to have success to kind of get that confidence up after a lackluster week 1. So I'm going to go over A.J. Dillon. I'm going to go 5 Bakhtiaris. I'm going to get ballsy.
Oh, snap. Oof. My man.
Okay. I'm going to go. I'm not doing this just to be a contrarian, but I think I will go Patrick Taylor on this one just because like A.J. Dillon, someone mentioned it, like it just feels like he's there's a fundamental thing that he's like not executing well. The pad level is high. He's not, keeping his head up. Like there's a few things that are just like, that's not, scheme or blocking. That's fundamentals. Right. And I don't know. I think that maybe there's maybe the redemption game for A.J. Dillon is week 3 against the Saints when he comes home and everyone starts kind of talking in the first 2 weeks. Well, is this the end of A.J. Dillon? And A.J. Dillon comes out in week 3 back at home and shuts all the haters up at Lambeau. So, but this week I'll stick with Patrick Taylor, and I'll say 3 Bakhtiaris for Patrick Taylor, or third running back. Insert third running back here.
All right.
Last bar bet here. Jordan Love. Over under 2.5 touchdowns. Total touchdowns. And I'm going to tell you why I put this, because I wanted to take the over here. And I'm going to take the over because I think I want this so bad. I want a Jordan Love option read walk-in touchdown. On the goal line, everyone is crashing down on A.J. Dillon. He just pulls it out and does one of those where there's nobody within 5 yards of him, and he walks in, 2 touchdown passes, 1 on the ground. Jordan Love over 5 carries.
Oof.
I again, not to be a contrarian, I'll take your words. I'm going to go under because, again, to bring up Nagler, he quote tweeted someone and said how a Packers coach texted him about the Falcons defense and said they're all over the place. Like Terrell in the secondary, Jesse Bates in that secondary. They're going to, even if they can't get the pressure on Jordan Love that they want to, like that secondary can make it confusing, changing coverage, showing fakes. Like they're going to make it tough on him. He's going to have to read the game much better than he did against the Bears, who have a weak defense. So I think they're going to try to confuse him. I think he can get up to 2 touchdowns, but I think, again, it's going to be a very heavy on the run game and not taking anything away from Love, but that Falcons secondary is good.
Yeah.
So, I got to pick a number.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry. I'll do 2 Bakhtiaris. So not super confident.
Oh, man. I was going to say, I keep thinking about Jerry Gray, and I keep saying revenge game, OG. He's going to really try to get at the Packers. But the truth is like when he was a full-time DC in Minnesota, he wasn't like he was all that great anyway. So I'm talking a little shit there. But he did look good against the Arizona game where he came in. So I don't know. I'm going to say over just because I have hitched my wagon to Mr. Jordan Love, and I am going to ride with him until the sunset, which I'm hoping is in the next 30 years. And the truth is, though, I really do feel like you see the way when we see it, right? We see it all preseason. We've seen this first game. Jordan doesn't try to force things, right? But he doesn't panic either. Like he just finds a way to make the right read, make the right call. And, this defense has been built over the last 3-4 years, right? I mean, they have gotten some really heavy hitters when it comes to free agency. Jesse Bates is a real favorite player of mine. I want to say Grady's still there too. Jared Grady's still there. And they're well coached. I mean, Jared Grady is a real good coach. There's a reason why people like Scott Pioli were trying to say that this guy should have been given a head coaching job a long time ago, right? Or at least a DC job again. So, but I'm riding with my boy, and I purposely not picked up Jordan Love in any of my fantasy football leagues. So I don't jank him by any way. So I'm going him, and I'm going to bet 4 Bakhtiaris on it because I have confidence in my boy.
Like
our boy.
Our guy.
Collective guy.
Yes.
All right. Well, that just about wraps it up here at Lombardi's Bar. We will be back again next Wednesday, 8:30 Eastern, 7:30 Central. Todd should be back by then. Jimmy, is this the week that you're gone? Next week, is that the week you're gone? Or we're all 3 going to be 3
I don't have
again?
a time I'm being gone soon. I don't think. Okay. Unless I die. I don't know.
Okay, that's not getting morbid.
Yeah, I think I'll be here. Yeah. You never know.
Brought to you by the New York Jets script writers.
Hey, I got a great idea. Let's talk this guy up for off-season hard knocks and everything, and then just take away the dream. Like, what the hell?
That is literally the Scream setup. You bring in Drew Barrymore at the beginning of the movie. Oh, it's going to be a Drew Barrymore movie. Nope, she's fucking dead. 10 minutes into the movie. Aaron Rodgers, Drew Barrymore.
Okay, I like it.
Follow me on Twitter, Jimmy understands.
Follow Jimmy on Twitter. I'm on Twitter as well, at DK all the way. Umar, yours is up there as well, right?
Yep, I'm on Twitter, AMAR3455.
Perfect. Well, for producer Maddie P, for Todd, who's, I don't know, like taking uppers while he's on a cross country
with some
road
lot
trip.
lizards at a truck stop right
Some
now.
lot lizards, yeah. For our special guest, Umar, hanging out with us. For Jimmy, I'm your bartender Dan saying cheers, and as always, go Pack, go.
Go Pack.